A new battle line has emerged inside the Orange Democratic Movement. Kisumu woman representative Ruth Odinga is now calling for unity and the disbursement of the rival factions within her own party. Kisumu woman representative Ruth Odinga has publicly called for the dissolution or merger of the Linda Ground and the Linda Mwananchi factions within the Orange Democratic Movement, urging the party to unite ahead of the 2027 general election. In a statement shared on Monday, March 2nd, 2026, the outspoken ODM organizing secretary said that the party must collapse to the competing factions into one strong force to strengthen its bargaining power before entering any coalition talks. Ruth Odinga's message is clear that ODM, she says, must put its house in order. Her remarks come at a time when internal divisions within the party have grown more visible. The Linda Ground and the Linda Mwananchi camps have been holding parallel activities in the recent past, each presenting itself as the true voice of the party's grassroots. The rivalry has also played out in public rallies, strategy meetings, and also social media exchanges. And now Ruth Odinga is calling for an end to it. She says that the existence of parallel factions weakens ODM at a critical political moment. With the 2027 general election approaching, she believes that the party must speak with one voice. Her argument centers on political strength. And according to her, unity could give ODM stronger leverage in structured negotiations with the other parties before the next election cycle. A divided house, she suggests, cannot negotiate from a position of power. The debate over the unity is also tied to ongoing discussions about the possible pre-election coalitions. Recently, the ODM party's Central Management Committee tasked party leader Odinga with leading structured pre-election coalition talks with the United Democratic Alliance. The decision has sparked disagreements within sections of the party. Ruth Odinga is among those who oppose the rush towards the coalition discussions. She maintains that there is still time. She points to the Political Parties Act, which allows political parties up to 3 months before a general election to deposit their coalition agreements within the registrar, with the registrar of the political parties. In her view, this timeline means ODM does not need to hurry into negotiations. Instead, she says that the party should focus first on strengthening internal unity. Her position adds weight to the growing conversation within ODM about strategy, timing, and direction, and she is not alone. The former Chief Administrative Secretary, David Osianyi, has also expressed similar views. In an interview aired on February 27, 2026, Osianyi argued that the rival factions should disband and also rally under one banner. He suggested that both Linda Ground and the Linda Mwananchi movements should absorb what he referred to as Linda ODM as common call moving forward. Osianyi framed the issue as one of the party's stability. He indicated that continued internal wrangles could erode public confidence and also weaken the party standing nationally. The roots of the division trace back to the late year. That Linda Ground faction led by the party leader Odinga began its activities in January following the Kilifi Central Management Committee declaration. Its maiden rallies were held in Kibra and Kamkunji grounds. These are locations with deep political symbolism within ODM's history. For years, they were venues associated with major political declarations by the late party leader Raila Odinga. The rallies were intended to gather views from delegates and also supporters regarding proposed pre-coalition talks. The aim, according to organizers, was to provide a platform for members to express their opinions on the party's direction. However, not all leaders argued with this approach. Nairobi Senator Edwin Sifuna, with other like-minded leaders, opposed the decision to move towards structured talks at that stage. In response, they formed a Linda Mwananchi movement. The new group positioned itself as a counterweight to the Oburu-led Linda Group camp, and what followed was a visible split in messaging and mobilization. Each side organized meetings, each side rallied supporters, and each side claimed to defend the interests of the party at its grassroots base. The tension deepened with Vihiga Senator Godfrey Ososi, a key member of the Linda Mwananchi team, made further claims about the origin of the Linda Ground movement. Speaking recently, Ososi said that the formation of the Linda Ground took place at President William Ruto's Kilgoris home on December 27, 2025. He claimed that members of the party's National Executive Committee were present at the meeting, except for himself and Sifuna. Ososi argued that alleged that budgets for the forum were discussed in presence of the head of state, and these claims have added another layer to the already complex internal debate. They have raised questions about influence, independence, and also the party's strategic path. So far, the leadership of Linda Ground has continued its activities, insisting that it's consulting widely. Linda Mwananchi leaders, on the other hand, have also maintained that their coalition discussions must reflect on the will of the broader membership. In the middle of this, Ruth Odinga's call stands out. Her message is less about who is right and more about what she sees as necessary for survival. She argues that ODM must avoid internal fragmentation. She believes the party must consolidate its political muscle before entering any structured talks with other formations. Her focus is on timing. The next general election is still more than a year away, and under the law, formal coalitions agreements are not required until 3 months before the polls. In assessment, that leaves space for internal dialogue and reorganization. For supporters at the grassroots level, the public disagreements have created uncertainty. ODM has long presented itself as a united political force with deep support in several regions. Now, visible factional activity risks sending mixed signals. Political analysts also note that internal unity often shapes negotiation strength in coalition politics. A party divided internally may struggle to project clarity externally, and at the same time, coalition politics has become central to Kenya's electoral landscape. No major party can ignore the arithmetic of alliances, and ODM's strategic decisions in the coming months could shape not only its own future, but also the broader political balance ahead of the 2027. Ruth Odinga's intervention comes from a senior figure within the party structure, and as organizing secretary and Sikisomu Guman representative, her voice carries weight, particularly within the party's traditional support base. Her call for collapsing rival factions into a formidable force reflects concern about direction and discipline. Whether that call will be heeded remains to be seen, and for now the factions continue to mobilize, leaders continue to hold meetings, supporters continue to debate the party's next move, but beneath the rallies and statements lies a simple question: can ODM reconcile its internal divisions in time to present a united front? The coming months may provide the answer. As the clock ticks towards the 2027 election, the future strength of the Odinga Democratic Party may depend not only on who speaks the loudest, but on whether it can stand together as one. And that's all for today from Kenya Lens Media. Kindly consider subscribing as a way of supporting us and also motivating us and helping this platform to grow.